Do not resuscitate. Somewhere in the cemetery grounds, I found a profound noun. Me. Was I dead or alive? The feelings that would arise from a life of lies would have me arrive at a question. More like a suggestion to chase a life I was destined till it was time to rest in the ground. Would these graves allow me to slave to save my soul? Before I fill the hole beside them and reside in the silence of sound, surrounding the pounding of my heart, of my scars? Where do I start to reach the stars? Instead of dodging cars as a game of fate, while I desecrate and isolate my own name. What was the fame worth when the pain birthed demons with lenience to my deviance? Can we see this switch in addiction when I feel the restriction of my existence? These terrible hidden variables of this equation force me to be patient, but my pulse is racing, and I can't help but tracing and casing the same maze we got lost in long before the pages tore from my book. Realizing I was only a rook, I was shook. 'Cause all it took to see me as a king was worth as much as a crook would bring to the table. I am not very stable with these multiple labels, but I am more than able to walk the cable to my future before I butcher another path he set before me. Do not adore me. Restore the opportunity to get to know me. 'Cause I was a fiend by my teens, but it seems that no one would bid, as I did, on the honor roll kid to sell himself piece by piece, in exchange for a tease of the beast. I was a liar that would retire his name, just for the flames, fame, and sake of the game, then set fire to the tight wire I walk along, so the devil can no longer stalk my song. And if I listen into the distance with minimal resistance, I hear this voice cutting through the noise of choice, to ploy me into this dimension of remission of memory, retention of what he's been to me, decisions of the sins in me, the collisions of pens in the diary, logs of my sobriety with no fucking privacy, the promises he lied to me when I died for greed, taking the lead only to see I was upon my knees, begging as a poor boy does, in the high of lust, the eyes of trust. I found the must after the crust of land broke, and the man choked on his own sea of words that he spilled to all these girls, before the world unfurled and twirled him into oblivion, paying a dividend of dissident behavior, all while trying to save her with a million unpaid favors. But still, I savor everything I gave her. You wanted fear from your peers, but now your bully is in the mirror, and he stares with intent to represent years spent paying rent for a tent outside of hell, knowing damn well that when the night went stale, I drove the final nail, grabbed the third rail before the details of females derailed my mind. And I find, in hindsight, the right time was always night, the right rhyme was never light. When it takes flight to greater heights about different highs, I wanted to try, because deep inside, this guy was dying and constantly lying about the timing of my grimy actions with a fraction of practice, trying to mask this desire to resign the fire I had inside, pretending I was braver than the help of my Savior. I thought I was drowning while you were frowning upon me, but from what I can see and who I could be, I'm realizing they weren't clowning me, they were crowning me. The intricate webs you weave, the memories I grieve every time you leave, my heart on my sleeve as I try to retrieve a need to relieve this tension of being pensioned from this mission to find peace. Not to mention this lease for a piece of the keys to this land. Will I ever be a man? Or will I always need my band to hold my hand till we float upon dry land? Make a stand and let it be grand, 'cause there is a sea of fans waiting for this to drop. From pushing mops and arguing with cops to taking it to the top, I cannot stop. We cannot stop. Wait for the flop and see the river. Be a giver while I drown my liver and watch them slither through the grass and broken images of the past, looking at myself in the glass. The reflection I see distorts the perception I need to feed my ego. I think I am free though, but right now, I need the trio to save my soul with the pain it holds every time I fold to the wicked. I am stricken with a sickness only the Lord could fight. Make it right before it is night time, and the right line is presented with the resistance to the same feeling you resented are brought forth, and you want more. So you open the door, and you explore the core of hell like you're under a spell. Your skin is pale, but you couldn't tell, 'cause the deal you made you couldn't trade. You could have made a name, or you could have stayed the same, but you chose to have no one know about the lows you console when your highs take control. Your dirty little secret, you couldn't keep it. They just kept seeping and reaping from your tongue, and now you're left with one friend that will blend in like the rest, bend into your nest and end the best dream you ever had, driving you mad over the smallest bad decision, searching revisions to avoid collision that already occurred. This is obscured and absurd, but when I returned, the lines were blurred. So I swerved to avoid the curb, but quickly learned I already crashed. Lifting the mast to see the wreck, feeling the gash in my neck, the airbags deployed, the death I annoyed for the fear I employed. Grieving widows, the shattered windows, he swore he was my friend then. Rather stuck in the land of the beast, the hand of the weak, do not resuscitate me. But still you seek the bleak creek of damaged souls, in the vast depths of holes that swallowed their whole, finding it is bad for my health when I'm trying to save everyone but myself, leaving them cold to the earth, predestined from birth to surf the waves of misery. Nothing is fixing me, but this is a gift to me, these rhyme schemes and how they seem to put me in a dream that I deem fit. The moment they spill from my lips, I come equipped. My quill dips, my mind trips, and my crown slips. These riddles are accompanied by fiddles I watch trickle down from the sky, creating a man of me inside my fantasy, right beside the insanity that ran to me. I bob and weave punctuation for interpretation of my reservation and dedication to this movement. I cannot lose it, or I will go mad with the sad, sad stories of all I ever had and just a tad bit of sorrow. Instead, I will borrow the Lord's pen and vent my sins on this paper while the vapors of yesterday dissipate. Do not reciprocate, do not separate, and please do not resuscitate.